this is one of the most pathetic situation. What I have observed keenly in past 30 years, government has totally failed in rehabilitating us, at the same time in providing security. अगर government हम लोगों को यहाँ पे सेफ्टी नहीं दे सकती, हम लोगों को वेपन दे दीजिए, हम अपनी सेफ्टी खुद कर लेंगे।
पीस प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे, आप भी देख रहे थे, हमने कोई पत्थर नहीं उठाया, कोई गलत बात नहीं की, इन्होंने लेडीज को इंजर्ड कर दिया, 4 लेडीज इंजर्ड हैं, 4 एब्सकॉन्डिंग, हमें पता नहीं बंदे कहाँ हैं, अभी पता चला कि इनको डिटेन किया गया। हमें ये बोले कि ये अपनी नाकामी छुपाने के लिए हम निहत्तों के ऊपर अत्याचार क्यों कर रहे हैं?
आपको लगता है कि जो सरकार का प्लान था कि कश्मीरी पंडित्स को, हिंदूज को वापस ला के
It has totally failed. It is totally failure of the government. गवर्नमेंट ने किसी भी एक बंदे को सिक्योर नहीं किया है।
डिमांडें 4 हैं। जब तक ऑनरेबल गवर्नर साहब यहाँ नहीं आते, ये प्रोटेस्ट यहाँ से हिलने वाला नहीं। और हमारे 4 आदमी इन्होंने बंद किए खानों का। किस बात पर जेके पुल ने बंद किया? या तो इनकी गवर्नमेंट की चाल है, इनको बंद करेंगे, यहाँ से उठाएंगे। हम यहाँ से उठने वाले नहीं हैं। ये देखिए हाल, और इसका हाल देखिए, इसके बच्चों का हाल। हम चाहते हैं कि हमें इंसाफ चाहिए, जो हमारे डिमांडें हैं वो डिमांडें फुलफिल की जाए।
ये तो बिल्कुल हमारे साथ नाइंसाफी हुई। ये पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट था। अगर पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट में भी हमारे पे टेयर गैसेस फेंके जाते, ये तो एक बहुत गंदी हरकत हुई गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से।
हमने कोई पत्थर नहीं उठाए थे, हमने कोई गन नहीं उठाई। क्या पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट का ये नतीजा होता है? हम पे लेडीज पे लाठियां मारी गई। ये देखो, मुझे जख्मी किया गया, मुझे लेडीज ने बहुत डंडे मारे हैं। ये कोई तरीका नहीं है। हम इंडिया में रह रहे हैं, कहाँ रह रहे हैं हम?
Right, breaking news coming in. Government staffers working at the tehsildar office in Budgam have written to the Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor's office and said that they are left with no option but to resign en masse. That's what the government staffers at the tehsildar office in Budgam are saying in their letter to the Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor's office. Let's go across to Sahil, who is joining us live. Sahil, are the government staffers planning mass resignation in protest against the killing? What are the demands? All right, we'll try and reconnect with Sahil for the latest update on those massive protests that broke out in Jammu and Kashmir against the killing of this Kashmiri Pandit who was a government employee. He was shot at by terrorists at the tehsildar office in Budgam. He has succumbed to his injuries. There were protests there. Police had to fire tear gas to control the protesters alleging excesses by the authorities, and they were saying that they were only holding a peaceful protest. So that's the situation in Budgam. There were protests against the killing of this employee, a government employee, a Kashmiri Pandit in Budgam. The protests happening earlier today, and the protesters alleging excesses at the hands of the authorities. All right, Sahil joins us from Srinagar for the very latest on this. Sahil, what are the demands of these government staffers? Are they planning a mass resignation in protest against this killing?
Yes, there are multiple demands of these Kashmiri Pandit employees who have been protesting from last evening. In fact, we have seen these employees have blocked Srinagar Budgam road today as well. They were marching towards Airport Road when the police had to lathi charge them, and in fact tear smoke shells were used to stop these government in fact Kashmiri Pandit employees from marching towards the airport. They are demanding first that the family be compensated because he has left behind his wife and in fact a 5-year-old daughter and parents. So the first demand genuinely is that this family be compensated. Then they are demanding security. They are demanding that these employees be transferred to Jammu. If these demands are not fulfilled by the administration, they are threatening to go for the mass resignation because they're saying that they have not been feeling secure in Kashmir Valley because the incident that took place yesterday in Chadoora, Budgam, that has in fact shaken this Kashmiri Pandit community, in fact Kashmiri Pandit employees. They're saying that this incident took place inside the office premises of Rahul Bhat, where he was in fact working, and the militants going inside his office, killing him there, and then escaping him from the support is something that they feel worrying. And in fact, they are demanding from yesterday evening as well that the LG Manoj Sinha visit the spot, and so that they can communicate to him the problems and the issues and the demands. But since the LG Manoj Sinha has continued with his schedule, he was in fact today in Sopur, where he was taking attending a program of health department. He visited a hospital there and inquired about the facilities in the hospital. Now these employees have been demanding. We have meanwhile seen that the BJP leader and Minister of State for Cooperation BL Verma was there in Tulamula, Gandarbal. He met Kashmiri Pandit there, assured that he will return to Delhi today, and in fact will communicate and convey the demands and issues of Kashmiri Pandit employees to Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. So there, the Kashmiri Pandit employees who are protesting not only in Sheikhpura Budgam but in Kazigund, in Matan area of Anantnag, in fact all inside the Kashmiri migrant Pandit in these colonies, they are protesting and demanding that either they be shifted to Jammu, transferred to Jammu, otherwise they will in fact go for this mass resignation.
Sahil, also tell us about what happened during these protests earlier today. Some of the protesters we heard are alleging excesses by the authorities, by the police there during those protests. They are saying we were holding peaceful protests. Why this action against us? What happened at these protests, and what's the situation there now?
Well, what happened in Sheikhpura Budgam was that since morning, these Kashmiri Pandit employees started assembling on road. They held a peaceful protest there. They were sitting there peacefully. They were demanding that LG Manoj Sinha be asked to visit their support so that they can communicate and they can convey their issues and demands to LG Manoj Sinha. Since he didn't visit, then there was a call that all Kashmiri Pandit employees were asked by these Pandit leaders that they in fact asked them to move towards Lal Chowk, Srinagar, to undertake a march against the killing. But these employees started marching towards the airport road. Since on Srinagar airport, they were just around that spot, and they started moving since the airport is very important road and strategically. So the security forces there, in fact Jammu and Kashmir police, tried to stop them. Then they used tear smoke shells. They had to do a lathi charge on these protesters, on these Kashmiri Pandit employees. And yes, of course, we have been told, and we've been reporting as well from the support that a number of people have in fact suffered injuries. 3 to 4 days Kashmiri Pandit claim have been detained by police as well. Right now these Kashmiri Pandit employees are again sitting on a protest there. They are raising slogans. They are demanding that LG Manoj Sinha be asked, in fact be informed that he has to visit this super so that they can convey him the issues and the demands they are making.
All right, Sahil, Suhail, we leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us with those details from Srinagar. And staying with Jammu and Kashmir, a Kashmiri cop who was attacked by the terrorists has succumbed to his injuries. This in Pulwama. The terrorists fired upon police constable Riaz Ahmed at his residence in Gudru in Pulwama. The constable was injured and he is now succumbed to his injuries after that terror attack. Terrorists attacking him in his own house.